Jay, you're a piece of shit. A piece of shit. Oh, Jay, you suck.
Hello, how's it going? I'm your host, Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast where I look into a camera and I talk to myself. How you doing? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. If you're watching the podcast, you just saw me bumble around and hit into shit because this room is super cluttered. You can't see it, but everything at my feet is fucking terrible. I got a VHS player right here piled with tapes. I got fucking 2 bags of fucking flatbread pretzel sticks. 1 normal original, 1 fucking garlic parmesan. I got water bottles. I got fucking microphones. I got DVDs. I got a PlayStation 5. Everything is fucking at my feet in a cluttered, terrible, horrible, disorganized bullshit way. And it caused me to bump into it at the start of this podcast and look like a bit of a fool. So if you saw that on the video, I hope it made you laugh. If you didn't see it and you're just listening to me, don't have a command of the English language, shouldn't have a podcast. If you're just listening to me, I apologize for describing something that you didn't even get to see. You'll have to check out the video to go, haha, look at that fucking idiot bumbling in the beginning of his podcast. He can't even navigate through his own room. How is he going to entertain me for an hour with his stupid face? How you doing? How's it going, everybody? That was a bit of a fucking tangent, but this whole podcast is a tangent, isn't it? A tangent from fucking life, getting yourself out of the goddamn mundane bullshit that's going on in the world. This fucking fun world, dude. Dude, this world is awesome, huh? Dude, everything is so cool, huh? Right? I hope you're doing good in the new year. I think, like I said on the last podcast, I don't want to look at the world in years, but my bullshit aside, I hope you're having a good year so far. I know I said and yelled and probably got too fucking crazy about it last episode about not treating your life in years, but at the same time, tradition is tradition, and I will say to you right now, I hope your year's going pretty good. I hope 2021 is pretty chill so far. I think it's so cool, dude. Right? Life is cool, dude. There's nothing going on that's weird. It's dope, dude. You know what's cool? Social media is cool, dude. Social media is so cool, dude. It's so fucking sick. Get to talk to people from across the globe. Right? There's no downside to social media. It's all likes and love and positivity and positive vibes 24/7 and self-care and making yourself a better person. That's what social media is, dude. It's fucking cool, dude. It's not like social media is ever, dislikes and you making yourself vulnerable in the world, shitting in your mouth. No, social media is cool, dude. It's never people going after you saying you're a horrible piece of shit and you should never work again, and people not being able to ever work again because people get so vicious towards them on social media. That's not a thing, bro. Social media is always cool. It's never thousands, if not millions of people paying attention, arguing about things that don't matter at all. That's not what social media is. Social media is never almost everybody collectively discussing a topic that who gives a fuck about and won't matter the next day. No, dude. Social media is cool, bro. It's puppies. Social media is all doggies and love and hearts and blue check marks. It's not like a blue check mark has become a weird status symbol, and if you don't have one, people don't take into consideration your opinion at all. And it's not like blue check marks literally don't mean anything. And a lot of people who have them still say dumb fucking shit that you shouldn't pay attention to. It's not like that's a thing. No, dude, social media is cool, bro. It's so fucking rad, dude. Twitter, dude, it's fucking sick, dude. Right? It's not like there's kids out there who are using social media who don't fully understand the concept, who aren't already in high school, and high school is such a bubble that they think that their only universe is high school itself. And it's not like social media doesn't perpetuate that and inflate and amplify all the fucking negativity of high school, so that a kid thinks that not only does everyone around them hate them, but everyone online hates them, and they go into this crazy bubble of depression and horror where they inevitably kill themselves. It's not like that happens, dude. It's not like fucking social media and people being so aggressive and shitty on it makes kids take their lives. That doesn't happen, dude. Nah, social media is cool, dude. It's not like it's contributing to the highest suicide rate of all time. It's not like it's a large contributor of why people get so bummed out they check out of existence. That's not a thing. Social media is cool, dude. Anyway, how are you guys doing? That's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like social media is so cool. Right? I won't get into the big thing yet, And also, I don't know if there's even much to say about it. I mean, it's like the biggest thing it's a big thing that happened with the storming of the Capitol and whatnot. But before that, I don't know. And maybe this is like the perfect example of social media and why it's so fucking stupid. Is that on the same platform, right? On the same fucking thing that we ingest 24/7, on the same platform, in the same week, I think, or maybe it was last week, I don't remember, but in a very small time span, we went from literally it twinding, again, don't have a command of the English language, shouldn't have a podcast, I'm dumb as fuck, can't talk. In a small time frame, it was trending on Twitter, this guy called Bean Dad, right? I think that's what it was. It was some dad who wrote a law. I think he was also a drummer. I don't know. It was one of those cases where someone who was like not very known, and then they write a Twitter thread that doesn't matter, and then it gets so viral that everyone goes, he's a racist. You know what I'm saying? When somebody suddenly gets popular, immediately people go, well, let's look back at his shit and see if we can make this an even bigger story. His or her shit, whoever the person is, let's go back into their tweets and just see if we can blow this up even more. If we can add another layer to this story. Because it already doesn't matter, so let's turn it into something wild. So this I came to it late. Everybody I knew was talking about it. And I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. Can someone explain to me what's happening? So someone sent me the Twitter thread of this dude who got labeled Bean Dad. Because that's what happens, man. We got the bagel guy. We got Bean Dad. What happens in our world is social media labels you a cartoon character's name. And then you become that instead of a human. That's what social media does. You know why? Because like I said a second ago, social media is so cool, dude. When you're here, you're just a cartoon name of whatever your outrage was. Anyway, he wrote a fucking 9-page Twitter thread that was him like overly dramatizing some scenario where his daughter didn't know how to open a can of beans, so he let her struggle and try and open it for a long time so that she could learn how to open the can. Some bullshit like that. I don't know. I read it quickly because I was fucking so bored reading it. All right? No offense to this guy. I don't know him at all. People apparently say he's a piece of shit. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I just know I read this Twitter thread and I was bored with it. Okay? And then I saw it went viral. It went super viral where everyone was arguing about whether or not he was being mean to his kid because of the bean shit. People were literally arguing. They were spending their day arguing on Twitter about a guy they don't know and whether or not his parenting was the right thing to do. That's what people were spending their time doing. And it's not like a small amount of people. I mean, in the grand scheme of the human race, it's a small amount of people. But enough people for it to be trending and people I know to be fucking chatting about it. Right? And then people looked up old tweets and he made some jokes that were not up to the standard of people today. And people started being like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit. And just like that, this fucking medium-known drummer, I don't know, he's a drummer for some band. I have no idea. Don't know. I barely know. All I know is everyone was talking about it, and it was trending on Twitter. And Bean Dad was a thing on social media that was important to talk about. And then about a week later, 5 days later, I'm not sure how the timeline exactly is, people stormed the Capitol. And that also became a trending topic on Twitter. So that's what social media is. It's a place where people can get riled up and viciously angry about a guy who didn't teach his daughter how to open a can in the way that people liked. And then a couple of days later, something real and actually important can happen. And people will talk about it and report on it, but kind of have less to say than the Bean Dad thing. Isn't that weird? Is that some people will have less to say about the fucking Capitol being stormed in our nation than a guy with the fucking can of beans and his daughter being like, can you open this? And him being like, I want you to learn. And people are like, you're a fucking piece of shit, Dad. People just thinking of their own fathers getting mad at him, projecting onto him for fucking hours of their day. And then a couple days later, the same person who yelled about that for hours will go and be like, oh shit, the Capitol got stormed. I don't really have much to say about that. Or maybe they have a lot to say about it. Maybe they have a lot to say about both. But if you have a lot to say about both, shouldn't you look at your life and go, hey, man, maybe that Bean Dad shit isn't that important. Maybe going forward, when like we should realize, like, you know what? Let's use... What bothers me about Twitter and social, like, especially Twitter, is that people, like the news, have treated it like a serious source of information. So if it's a serious source of information, can we like section it out so that we don't have serious fucking news and stupid bullshit that people blow up into something on the same thing? You know what I'm saying? The New York Times used to be, and still is, a reputable news source, right? They're not going to post about some bullshit. They're going to try and post something for real, dude. And then the tabloids are going to, or not tabloid, whatever. BuzzFeed will post about some bullshit. The New York Times will post about something real. Do you get what I'm saying? There are places where things should be talked about. And Twitter is this nebulous, and social media in general is a nebulous, like homogenized, like, let's talk about everything. It's just weird to me. It's weird. I don't know. I'm complaining about nothing. What the fuck do I know? But does that make sense? It's just strange. Basically, what I'm saying is, why the fuck stop with the Bean Dad thing? Things like that on Twitter. Can we just stop with that shit? That's really what it is that forget the Capitol analogy and all that garbage I just did. Let's just pay attention to the one scenario. Bean Dad. Don't do these things anymore, okay? If you see some guy write a fucking blog post on Twitter about his daughter and beans, if anybody writes about their parenting in a blog post on Twitter, my brain goes, there's something wrong with that person. Why are you Don't why are you telling me about your parenting on Twitter? It's either to brag or to complain. Both reasons I don't give a fuck about. Let's stop turning that into something that I know about. That's really what it is. Maybe I just need to hang out with different people. But no, I like my friends. I love them. But I don't want to know that. I don't want that to occupy my mind so much so that I'm on here talking about it because it's so irritating to me. You know? Fucking Bean Dad. Anyway, if you don't know what Bean Dad is, I apologize for even bringing it up and putting it into your life now. See, that's what happens is you hear something. That's really how social media works is there are genuine people arguing about something really fucking stupid, but then you got assholes like me who get so angry about it that then they talk about it, and then it's just a perpetual cycle of every fucking idiot talking about it. And I'm included in that group of morons. I'm a dumb fuck. Me talking about it now, complaining about it now, I'm a fucking idiot. You know? Because I'm wrapped up in it too. I was going to tweet about it that day, and then I held back. I held fucking back. That's the thing, dude. And that's the thing that bums me about social media is that no one, you're not like smart. I don't think, there are people who act like they're above social media and shit like that. And I don't think anyone is. I think anyone could get easily sucked into it and sucked into the cycle and easily end up participating in a conversation that does not matter at all. And in a lot of ways, I'm doing it right now. I'm bringing Bean Dad back up when nobody gives a fuck about it anymore. And even in that moment, that day, I almost tweeted about it because everyone was talking about it. And then it was trending. And I'm not going to lie, part of me was like, hey, man. Also, I don't know if it was trending. I assume it was trending. I think it was. If for at least a little bit it was trending. Anyway, there's probably people listening right now going, What is Bean Dad? Get new friends. Shut the fuck up, idiot. And granted, I agree with you there. I should shut the fuck up. But I got a podcast, so I got to speak. I got a podcast that I chose to do, so I have to speak. That's how it works. It's not like I could stop this at any time by my own choice. It's not like it's my own choice that this is going into the world right now. It's not like that's happening. It just exists. I have to do it. That's how it works. No, but I think it was trending for at least a little bit, and I had the temptation because it was trending, and I had the temptation of being like, fuck everybody for talking about this. I'm going to make fun of it. But then you're just another asshole keeping it trending, you know, keeping the conversation going. And keeping social media doing what it does best. Getting people riled up about dumb fucking shit. I almost tweeted, because the whole thing was like the dad's a piece of shit for making his daughter wait, or like he's making his daughter struggle with the can opener for 3 hours. I think that's what it is. Again, skimmed it, so don't know it beat by beat. But I was about to tweet, I don't understand what all the uproar about this Bean Dad thing is. Whenever a kid asks me to open a can of beans for them, I kill them immediately. Whenever I meet a kid who wants a can of beans open, I just murder them on the spot. I was going to tweet that, which I thought, that's pretty funny. But at the same time, I was like, is it worth it? Is it worth being a part of this conversation? Even if you're shitting on something, even if you're making fun of or critiquing the conversation itself, you're still a part of the fucking bullshit. So I thought, is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. But then also, it's so funny, like the ego of a person. Let me focus on me, the ego of me. Because there is the thing in the back of your head of like, well, what if I tweet this and it goes viral? And then I have to tell myself, hey, Jake, it's not going viral, dude. It's not. Nothing you write's going viral. Shut the fuck up. I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one who thinks that sometimes. What if I post this and it goes viral? And then guess what happens? It never does, dude. Because it's not going to. Because nothing you write's going to be that interesting, you know? And I'm talking to myself here. Like, nothing I write is that. Nothing I write is ever as interesting as I think it is when I put it out. It's always the first moment of releasing a video, of writing a tweet or whatever the fuck. There's always that split second first guttural moment of like, I think this is the one, dude. I think this is it. I think it's gonna go viral. I think I'm gonna a lot of people are gonna follow me now. And then it goes out and it's like, no, dude. 3 people saw it. You got 2 likes, no retweets. And you're still just sitting there going, well, I thought it was funny. And that's important, dude. That's the most important thing. If you make a video, if you tweet something, if you're making any sort of if you're creating any sort of a thing, it's the only thing that's important is that you like it. You know what I'm saying? If you make a fucking 20-minute video about why why Jurassic World is your favorite movie, okay? If you make a fucking 25-minute breakdown of why Chris Pratt is actually one of your favorite actors in Jurassic World is better than the first Jurassic Park. I don't agree with it. I think that's fucking nuts. But if you believe that and you love the video you made, put it out and go, I loved this video. You know, even if the world, everybody dislikes it and shits on you, just go, hey, man, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed making that video. I'm sure somebody fucking liked it out there, and that's all that I care about. And even if nobody liked it out there, at least you enjoyed making it, and that's what you should focus on. If you're going to tweet something out, don't go, is it going to go viral? Because it's not. First of all, it's not. And second of all, if you're going to tweet something, if you're going to participate in the Twitterverse, just tweet something you think is funny or you like or you're glad you said. That's it. If you see something about Bean Dad or fucking Pogo Guy or Stromboli Son, if you see anything that has a cartoon name that people are viciously arguing about on Twitter, don't comment on it. Just move on. Just go, oh, that's stupid. I'm going to delete this thing. No, you don't have to delete your Twitter. But you know what I'm saying. I think you know what I'm saying. I think people understand what I'm saying here. And if you don't, I apologize. It's probably my fault because I don't make any fucking sense, dude. Because the words that come out of my face, I think, have some semblance of meaning. And then listening back, I go, what the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, so yeah. So that happened. I guess I can talk about... I got like 6 minutes left until the camera. I got to switch the camera. No, I got 4 minutes. There's certain things that if I talk about, I feel like then that's what I got to talk about for the rest of the show. I don't know. I have 4 minutes. I mean, I guess I could talk about the Capitol being stormed. I don't know what to say, man. It's wild. It's wild. I don't really have much to say about it. I feel like maybe I don't know. I don't even know if I really need to talk about it. Because I'm not going to add much to the conversation. Also, it happened. And I feel like that's the thing. And maybe that's the thing that made me so annoyed about the Bean Dad thing. Is that... And the two things being on the same platform is that, like... And maybe it's just an annoyance with myself. Because I got more to yell about with the Bean Dad thing than I do to yell about with storming the Capitol. But maybe it's just maybe my real anger with Twitter and social media is that I'm I'm one of the people who's getting sucked into the bullshit. And something like the storming of the Capitol being on the same platform as Bean Dad, which you had more to say about. I'm the person who had more to say about Bean Dad than I do about storming the Capitol. Something like that happens and you go, oh, I have more to say about this bullshit thing when this actual real fucking thing happened. And it just puts everything in perspective of like, hey man, real shit's going on. Do we need to be doing the bullshit? Does the bullshit need to occupy energy in your life? Because some real shit is actually happening. And maybe that's where your energy should be. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Anyway, I don't, like I said, I don't have much to say about the Capitol other than that was fucked. There's not much else to say, man. That was fucked up. That was a sad, weird, bad fucking day in America, huh? The biggest temper tantrum in American history. And I tweeted that as well. And I also fucking said that to a friend of mine. That's right. That's a sentence I keep repeating like a fucking boring, doesn't have anything new to say cunt. But it's true. Biggest temper tantrum in U.S. history. They stormed the Capitol because they were sore losers. It's fucking wild, man. Literally storming the Capitol because you're like, but he won. Like that was the storming. He won. It's weird, man. It's weird. You got a lady on a fucking loudspeaker on video saying out loud to a crowd of people, the one thing that Hitler had right was, what? If you're saying the sentence, the one thing Hitler had right, you gotta fucking take a couple steps back and re-examine your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? That's not a sentence that should be said. Okay? Even if you're a Nazi, you should be conscious enough to know not to fucking say something that blatant. You know what I'm saying? But I guess that was a day to be in full fucking gear, you know? To be fully yourself and just show, hey, we're storming the Capitol. This is what I believe. Fuck you. Crazy, man. I'll continue talking about this craziness in a second because the camera's about to go out. So I'll see you guys in the second half. What's up? I'm back. So that lady said, it's some woman running for Congress, I think, or she's running for some sort of political office. And she, on a loudspeaker decided to say, the one thing Hitler had right was... And like I said moments ago, walk that back. Okay? Don't say that. If you're saying that sentence, you fucked up. You went somewhere wrong on the path of life. And then she says, and then the quote she says is, he was right about one thing. If they have the youth, they have the future. Which, like, pick a different person to quote, you know? I don't think Hitler was the only one to say that. Also, his phraseology is very fucking Nazi and terrible-ish, you know? Like, the way he phrased it was like, they. What does they mean? The Jews, probably, right? You know? There's plenty of people in the world who are like, the youth influence the future. And they're not saying in a weird, anti-Semitic, horrible context. You know what I'm saying? That's the quote you want to pull from Hitler? You choose Hitler to pull that quote? Pick a different person to quote. Just say it. Just say yourself. Be like, hey, culturally, if the youth believes in your culture, then that's going to be the future of the world. So we need to pass on our traditions to our youth. Like, you know what I'm saying? But again, I'm trying to bring rationale to someone who's clearly out of their fucking mind. So it's, there's no point in me doing this. I don't think the woman who quoted Hitler's gonna hear me and go like, you know what? He's right. I should fucking think about what I'm gonna say next time. I should just either say the thought myself or quote some person that the whole world doesn't hate who said something similar. Gandhi might have said some shit like that. You know? Look into different books, okay? Dip into something else besides Mein Kampf, and you might find out that fucking Abraham Lincoln was like, hey, the youth are the future, so we need to set them on the right path. Don't quote the guy who murdered everybody, you know? You fucking idiot. Anyway, that's probably not her biggest problem, is that she quoted Hitler. I'm sure if you're quoting Hitler, there's already a lot going on with you that probably is fucking terrible. So anyway, that happened at the Capitol. Just weird Nazi shit, just people being fucked. Yeah, it's bad. I like I said, I don't have much to say about it. I don't have anything unique or new or interesting. I don't have anything to say that probably hasn't already been said about the matter. I agree with what seems to be the overall sentiment that was fucked up and horrible and should not have happened. And it was a preventable thing that for some reason was not prevented. And that's fucked. And people died that day. And that's on the hands of Donnie. People died, and it's his fault, and that's fucked up. That's the bottom line. No matter what your politics are, that's the bottom line is that happened because we had a president who failed to prevent it from happening. Yeah, we had a president who fucking spurted on. Whether you liked him as a president or not, he did do that. He did encourage people to go there, and he pushed things to a point where bad things happened. That's just a fact. And even when it was happening, he did not do a good job or any sort of a job to try and calm things down. He just didn't. And for at least that I know of, might be more, but 4 people died that day, and the blood is on his fucking hands, man. It just is. And that sucks. And it's fucked up. Yeah. That was a bad day. And I think most people, if not all people, can agree. I hope a day like that does not happen again. Anyway, enough politics, bro. This isn't a fucking political fucking podcast. You know, it's not, but that just felt like too big of a thing to not mention. Anyway, let's talk about the real shit. Let's talk about the real fucking shit, okay? And that's that I've been thinking about this a lot lately as I talk to ladies I know and just like, in general, just realizing things about life. But there are certain things that, because of how you grew up, because of what gender you choose or end up being, whatever gender you ascribe to, whatever roles that were put upon you as a child, whatever. There are certain things in your life that you will never have a comprehension of. You know what I'm saying? To the degree that somebody else might. And one of those things is, I will never, ever understand hair as well as women do, or most women that I know. Most heterosexual women, I will not ever understand hair in the fucking insane, intense, impressive way that they do. I don't I don't know what the word body means when it comes to hair. I don't know what it means. I've seen it in fucking, maybe it's Maybelline, L'Oreal, Skin, whatever fuck. The hairspray, hair shit commercials where the girl goes and her hair goes and you're like, wow, she's really pretty. I like her hair. I don't know what body means. That's where you hear that word, don't know what it means. Okay? All I know of hair is that it's part of, I've said this before in the podcast, it's part of what attracts me to a lady. If they got nice hair, I instinctively am like, damn, dude, she's cute. And nice is a nebulous thing because nice is your own prerogative. Much of attraction is your own particular bullshit, and I think hair is a part of that because I like hair. I think certain haircuts are cute on certain people that other people might be like, I fucking don't like short hair or I don't like that type of hair. When somebody I know has a distinctive haircut that seems to fit them as a human, I'm fucking into them. And it could be something very simple. It could be a normal ass haircut, but if it's perfectly suited for that person, I'm like, damn, dude. What's your phone number? Then can we go on a date? Anyway, but they just, do you understand? Like, I've never ever worried about, at least as a kid, I did not give a fuck about my hair. Because it didn't matter, right? I cared about bedhead. If I had bedhead, I would worry about that. Like, I didn't want my hair sticking up fucking crazily. But at the same time, that was my own prerogative. That was like a thing that I had. Because, like, when people had bedhead in school, if you were a guy, nobody really gave a shit. I mean, maybe we made fun of one of my friends, but we made fun of him in general, but just about being, like, sloppy and unkempt. So the bedhead was just part of it. But he didn't really give a... Like, it wasn't a big deal if your hair was not the best. Okay? Also, what am I talking about? I know where that came from, the bedhead. This is what it is. Okay. Women... It seems to me that just in general, for women, hair is a big thing because that's considered a female thing. Also, women are taught to care about their looks and care about, you got to look good, you got to look put together, you got to have a nice fucking coif, nice hair, whatever the fuck. And guys, for the most part, at least in my experience, you're not taught, you're taught to look good, but it's not really a big priority. But the reason I'm self-conscious about hair, or the reason why I pay attention to, like, does my hair look okay? My hair, I don't have the best fucking hair, but I at least am self-conscious about, like, does it look fucked? Is because in 3rd grade, I was dumped because I got a haircut. I had a girlfriend. It wasn't a real girlfriend. It was a 3rd grade girlfriend, or a 4th. No, it was a 5th grade. It was a girlfriend in 5th grade. And which isn't real. My first ever girlfriend was 4th grade, who I actually liked. And then in 5th grade, I was dating somebody else who I didn't really like, but I, was just young and like, she's cute. And she was like, I guess he's cute. And dating during that grade, dating during 3rd to 5th grade was, I think I've talked about this before in the podcast. You didn't hang out with the person, or at least I didn't. I wasn't smart enough to know, oh, you got to hang out with your girlfriend outside of school. I just thought, oh, well, we'll see each other in school and we'll talk on AIM. So my 5th grade girlfriend, our relationship amounted to me and her saying I love you a million times on AIM. That's what it was. It was 2 children who don't know what love is or know what it feels like, just saying I love you, I love you, I love you back and forth meaninglessly on AIM Messenger. That's what a relationship was. But what happened was I got a short fucking haircut, and then the next day she dumped me. And it was because of the haircut. I remember she saw my haircut. It was very short. I remember women in particular looking at me and then whispering to each other and being like, I couldn't hear them, but I'm sure it was something like, look at his haircut, it's so fucking short, what the fuck, why the fuck did he get a fucking haircut so fucking short? We're probably not actually saying fuck this much because we're children, but what the fuck is going on with his hair? And I remember she saw me and looked at me like, what the fuck? Like, I remember her face, her fucking, like, stink eye face. She was making a stank face. She was making the stank face in a bad way at my fucking noggin. And the next day on AIM, not even in person, on AIM, I think this is how it happened. Could be wrong. I apologize if it was in person. I don't think it was. I think it was on AIM. The same place where we said I love you and it meant nothing. She broke up with me and it hurt my feelings. But she broke up with me on AIM, and I was like, oh, it's cool, man. But secretly in my heart, I was like, I shouldn't have gotten that fucking haircut. And I think ever since that point in my life, I've always been like, damn, dude, I got to at least make sure my hair is not fucked. Okay? So that's where my thought of, like, I don't want bedhead came from, and also, like, I don't want it to look dumb. But still, even with that moment, I think that moment of me being broken up with because my hair was fucked does not compare to the ridicule and intense savagery that women experience towards each other's looks that leads them to how much they care about their hair. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's solely birthed from women viciously attacking one another for their looks, but that's definitely part of the hair thing. The moment that was like big for me, the thing that sparked this was the other day I was talking to two friends of mine, and they were talking about like being worried about having frizzy hair. And one of my friends in particular was talking about how her mom had to like comb her hair and she would break combs in her hair. And obviously that creates a complex for a person. If your mom's trying that hard to fucking not have your hair be frizzy and she's also breaking combs in your fucking hair, there's no other way for you to think but like, oh, my hair is not frizziness is a bad fucking thing. It's literally damaging things in the environment. It must not be good. My mom is trying very hard to get rid of this shit. It must be something that you shouldn't have. And if you had frizzy hair as a girl in school, I was like, do people make fun of you? And they were like, yeah, dude. There was very much fucking arguments and fights about straight hair, and there was cattiness and shittiness and just like, hey, your hair looks like garbage. You know what I'm saying? The same way I got called fat, a girl was called a frizzy-haired fuck. You know what I'm saying? And probably also fat, which is fucked. I do believe it's harder for women because they're getting hit with the double whammies, dude. I was just called fat, not frizzy-haired. Not frizzy-haired fuck. I can't imagine being called a fat, frizzy-haired fuck. That would be devastating. But anyway, that made me think of my first girlfriend who... Oh, and the whole topic got brought up because it was two of my friends saying that, like, they loved the Princess Diaries, and part of it was because of Anne Hathaway in that movie with frizzy hair and everything. They identified with her. And also, that movie's kind of fucked because it's like she does get the makeover and things are better for her. And you're like, wait a second, what? And then I think, doesn't she stay non-frizzied haired? I don't remember. Anyway, what I'm saying is it was interesting. The thing that sparked it was I was like, oh, I always liked Princess Diaries, but I thought she was hot the whole movie. You know what I'm saying? Like the frizzy, like I saw it. And in all movies, when it was like the girl getting the makeover, I always was like, well, she's hot before and after. Like the glasses don't make me suddenly go, oh my God, I'm so wet. Oh my God, she took the glasses off. I'm a fucking waterfall in my pants. No, dude. Whether she had the glasses on or not, I was like, damn, she's cute. That frizzy hair looks good on her. But all this conversation also made me think of other people I dated. And no matter what, every single person I dated was worried about frizzy fucking hair. And one of my girlfriends was even to the point where she got her hair, two of them. One of them, I inevitably saw her hair like wavy or like a little bit frizzy, which again, I like it. Frizzy, like wavy hair, there's something fucking just like comfortable about it. I don't know. It's somebody like looking the way that they should in front of you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's somebody, I don't know. I like when somebody looks comfortable. I'm attracted to comfortability. When somebody has frizzy hair, when they're a little bit unkempt, when they're just chilling, when they're wearing a sweater, I'm attracted to that. I like it. But anyway, one of them got her hair permanently straightened, right? So that no one would see her hair frizzy ever. Which was fucked. And I remember being like, dude, I want to see your hair frizzy before you permanently get straightened. And she's like, absolutely not. She got it permanently straightened before I could ever see it frizzy. And it was weird, dude. It was weird. And my first ever girlfriend, in high school, which is when I think it starts to count. That's when the I love yous become real and you're actually having sex and things are happening. You're not just on Messenger going, I don't understand my body. I love you. But she also would hide her frizzy hair from me. If she came out of the shower, she would like try and duck and hide and not have me see her hair. And it's weird. That shame of frizziness is something I never had to deal with. And it's weird that that's a universal fucking thing for a lot of ladies. Obviously there are women who have frizzy hair and they're like, fuck it, dude. And they don't care, but it's just interesting. It's interesting to see the struggles people go through that are the ones that are not talked about. Because a lot of times it is talked about women's struggle and what they go through, but shit like frizzy hair is not brought up, and I think that's I mean, if I'm putting myself in a woman's shoes, I would be bitching about fucking frizzy hair. I'd be pissed about it. I would be like, listen, dude, we have periods. We gotta fucking we get paid less, and we gotta worry about our fucking goddamn frizzy hair all the time. You like to be fair, that's a fucking rough one, man. I don't want to speak for women, but I'm sure there's some women who are like, dude, top 5 frizzy hair is number 3. I swear to God. Worrying about frizzy hair, having the burden of worrying about it is fucking number 2. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, also just like the word body. Don't know what it means. I don't even use hair gel. Another moment of me being like, wow, like there's a comprehension of hair from women that I just don't have is being on set. Whenever you're on set, not every woman, but my roommate in particular, who's very into her own hair, and I have seen multiple women on set be like this. If there's a woman being filmed, they'll jump in, and even if they're not a makeup artist, even if they're not hair and makeup, and that's not their job at all, my roommate's or my ex-roommate, my friend, is a cinematographer, and she does not work in hair and makeup in any way, shape, or form. But even as a cinematographer looking through the lens, she's like, hold on a second, and she'll fix stray hairs on a woman's head that's being filmed. And I'm sitting there going, I didn't notice any of those stray hairs. It wasn't even a fucking thing. Now I do. Once she started looking at it, I started being like, oh, now I see it. And now you can't unsee it. It's one of those things. Once someone draws your eye to it, of people having stray hairs going up on film, now I can't unsee it. Every time I see it in on TV, in a movie, whatever the fuck, I'm always like, damn, dude, some lady should have dropped in and been like, let me fucking scoop you real quick. Let me get you cleaned up. But again, dude, part of female empowerment, we should let the strays run, dude. Let women have stray hair. Let them frizz the fuck out. I'm into it. But what I'm saying is that's interesting. That's another fucking wrinkle of like, I didn't know. I wasn't thinking about that at all. It was not a priority in my brain. But then once my roommate did it, I was like, oh, fuck, that's being a lady, dude. That's growing up as a typical heterosexual woman, you just have that knowledge. You have that fucking hair knowledge. It's put into you. And I'm envious of it, is what I'm saying. I think it's an impressive skill. But also, it's a bummer that it comes with the fucking frizzy hair thing. Dude, I didn't know shit about hair, ever. Still don't. But, like, I don't know if I said this on the podcast before, but when I was younger, I didn't... And I had long hair at one point. At one point, I had fucking hair down to here. And it was just unkempt as fuck and looked terrible. And now in retrospect, I'm like, well, if I had the knowledge of a lady, I probably would have made it look fucking sick, dude. I would have looked decked out like the dude in Queer Eye, bro. I would have had fucking stronger hair than that goddamn dude. By the way, I don't like how his hair looks fucking just pure straight like that. Get some waves in there. Maybe I'm a wavy boy. I like wavy, frizzy shit. I think that guy should frizz up or wave out his fucking hair. I don't like it just perfectly straight like it's a fucking doll's wig. It's strange to me. Anyway, I could have had strong hair like that, perhaps, if I had any knowledge of body and how to fucking manage it. But I didn't, so it was just a greasy little skater boy's fucking mop that I had. And even during that time, or I think it was during that time, no, it wasn't. Even having long hair didn't clue me in on this detail. I guess because I'm not seeing my own hair. But when I was in like high school and middle school and all that shit, I would see girls with wet hair in the morning. And I thought that was a style. I thought, maybe I did say this on the podcast, but I thought that was a style. That's how fucking ignorant to hair I was that I thought that wet hair was a style that ladies did. And I would always be like, that looks bad, dude. Wet hair looks shitty. Why is that a style that young girls do? And then years later, I was dating somebody who was like, oh, I need fucking extra time so that my hair can dry before I go to work. Otherwise, I got wet hair. And I was like, and then something clicked in my brain where I was like, oh, that wasn't a hairstyle. That was girls taking a shower last minute because we had to wake up at 6 in the fucking morning to go to school. And they were like, oh, I don't have time. Like, I got to shower real fucking quick. So my hair's just going to be wet for the first 4 classes of the day. Oh, it's not a style at all. It's just that they got to fucking manage. They got to have more time to look fine than boyos do. And that was an eye-opening thing. Another thing, dude, there's just, I don't know. I just think that there should be a class in... I just think we should learn more about women in general, or learn more things that women know. Like, I think in school, or parents should teach us about hair. I think boys should know what the word body means. I don't know what it means, dude. Somebody tell me. But also, like, there are so many things about the female body that men do not know. And it's always... And here's the thing. We don't know the things we don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like... And it's not just men. Like, women don't know a lot of shit about men's bodies. It usually is the hack thing is like, oh, men don't know anything about ladies' bodies, but also women do not know a lot of shit about men's bodies. Okay? I had a girl, did I say this on the podcast? I had a girl one time ask me why men, it's kind of akin to me thinking that wet hair is a fucking lady's hairstyle, but a woman asked me why men shave their beards like I have it shaved. And I was like, I don't shave it like this. It grows like this. Like, I don't. She's like, well, why don't you grow your hair in more on your cheeks and stuff? I go, because I can't. And she goes, oh, I thought that was a style. She thought it was a style that people like styled their goatee and beard like this so it would look like that. And I was like, no, dude. I mean, that's cool that you think that because you think it's intentional and you're giving me way more credit than I should have. But it was interesting because I was like, oh, that's because she doesn't grow a beard like I do. Like, she doesn't grow facial hair like I do. So she just doesn't fucking know. And there's shit like that. There's plenty of shit like that for me with women. I don't. My friend, the same one who noticed the strays, she was discussing her period with somebody one time in front of me. And they talked about how one of their sides hurt during the period. And I was like, oh, well, why did that side hurt? They're like, well, that's because that's the ovary that was dropping the egg. And I was like, well, what do you mean? She's like, oh, well, when you have a period, it switches off every month. It switches from ovary to ovary. And like one ovary drops an egg, the next month it's your other ovary and it switches off. And I did not fucking know that. I was like, what the fuck, dude? That's what happens? Your ovaries switch off? I just thought eggs were fucking flying down, dude. I thought just eggs were dropping. I thought every month eggs just shot out of your fucking ovaries. I didn't know it was like a one egg per month dropped on and off from each side. I didn't know that, dude. Shit, the camera's about to run out. I'm gonna do one more quick part. I'll be right back. What's up? I'm back. Ovaries, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that a period was one egg drops from one ovary, then the next month a new period and another egg drops from the other ovary. I didn't know they switched off. I didn't know it was one egg at a time. Didn't know any of it. And then my roommate and her friend was like, you didn't know that? And then I was like, no. And then there was another dude there. I was like, did you know that? And they were like, had no idea. And now I keep telling men that. And never fails. Every single man I tell that to, they're like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that happened. I didn't know it was an egg with each ovary. And I was like, dude, it is. But that's the thing, is like no man I've ever told was like, why the fuck? I don't want to fucking hear that. No, they were like, oh, wow, I never knew that. It's always the same reaction of like, oh, I never knew that. And I'm glad I know that now. You know? Like, I feel like there's a lot of shit like that. A lady I know was like, why is there always piss on the toilet bowl? And I was like, well, because when you pee, it sprays. Your penile sprays. And she was like, sure. I mean, that happens with me too. I go, yeah, but you're in the bowl. We're outside of it. And then I was like, men, I don't know if other men do this. I do this, but men need toilet paper too for the fucking toilet. At least in my fucking... The same way women wipe down the seat, I think men also should wipe down. I mean, I wipe down the seat because when I pee, it's a hose, man. It spurts every fucking where. So I always take some TP and wipe the seat and throw it in. You know, keep it clean, keep it cleanly. Cleansily. I have no fucking idea. Anyway, but that might just be me. I might be telling her misinformation. I might be like, oh yeah, I wiped down the seat with a piece of toilet paper, and then she asked other dude. She's like, no dude does that. You're a fucking weird fuck. That's the thing too. That's the risk you run. But yeah, that balls thing. Remember, I told you guys. I definitely told you guys this in the podcast. That girl was like, oh, men don't wash their balls, right? And I was like, who the fuck told you that? You know, I'm just saying there are mutual weird things that we could learn about each other that I think would only benefit us and be a good time. You know? I think if men and women had a better understanding of each other's bodies, their bodily functions, the struggles of frizzy hair and being rejected, I think if we came together and understood each other's struggles, we'd have a better time on the earth together. That's all I'm saying. What else I got to talk about? I guess that's kind of it. I can kind of wrap it up here. There's a few more things I could talk about, but I don't know. I've done over an hour at this point, I think. Yeah. Uh Yeah, I think I'm good. That's it for the podcast this week, everybody. I had a great time. There were other topics that I have on this list, but I'll try and talk about them next week. Dude, 99. This is episode 90 fucking 9. Episode 100 is fucking next week. Damn, dude. That's fucking crazy. That's an accomplishment, man. That's an accomplishment for everybody who listens to this. If I don't know, man. I do this podcast for myself because I like doing it, but also like the fact that I don't have a big listenership, but the fact that I have any sort of a listenership makes me go like, well, there are people listening who hopefully have a good time, and that drives me to keep doing it, man. That helps me keep doing it. And I've been getting a little bit more people watching than before, and it's awesome, man. The more people that listen, the more that I just feel encouraged, and I'm fucking grateful. So anyone who's listening to this podcast for this long, if there's anybody who's been listening since episode fucking 1, let me know, dude, because I would like to know who you are and thank you properly that for fucking listening for so long. Anyway, yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you for listening. Episode 100 is next week. I have some things planned. It should be very fun. But yeah, hope to see you there at episode 100. Thank you for being here right now. This podcast will never fucking end, dude. This podcast is going until the fucking world blows up. And even then, I'm still going to be ranting like a psychopath into a microphone. Nothing will stop this fucking club from going. Anyway. No, but hopefully I'll see you guys in episode 100. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Jake, you're an idiot. Jake, you don't make any sense. Jake, you're a piece of shit. A piece of shit.